YouTube, welcome back to brand new video. Welcome back to the channel, man. So look, man, we're gonna be reacting to our bats OP. If you guys don't know, man, they saying that's where the coronavirus came from, bro. From bats, bro. But let's see if they OP though. That's probably why people, they try to think they was gonna turn OP. You need to reevaluate your thoughts, bro, because look what you caused, a pandemic, bro. Stop eating stuff you're not supposed to eat, bro. Other than that, though, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, though, let's check it out.
Enemy spotted.
This episode is sponsored by Curiosity in 2020, then the Bat build. So today we're breaking down the Bat build to discuss its stats, special abilities, matchup spread, unique class variants, and finally where they place overall in the tier list. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Bat sports a pretty wide range of both high and low stats. Their key stat is mobility, of course, and it's kind of a given that any flying build will have high aerial mobility but be lacking in their other movement options. Bats take this a step further though, having thinner, more flexible wings that cover both their arms and legs, that allow for far greater speed and precision of movement mid-air than most bird builds can achieve.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Think about it, bro. A bat. I forgot what I had to say, bro. My bad.
In fact, while technically peregrine falcons can reach higher speeds during their dives, bats actually hold the record for the fastest flight speed in the game. This incredible mobility comes at a cost though, as we'll see with the bat's other stats. Bats have some of the weakest defenses in the game. Their thin, membranous wings are far less...
Yeah, they sure do got the weakest... Bro, you just died to... What is that? A raven? He just died to a raven. You can't... And see, bro, here's the thing, bro. People think bats and vampires, they got something to do, which is true because anytime you see a vampire, you see bats, you know? And also, another people think, like, with bats, they can only come out at dark time. It's not true, bro. I saw a bat flying in the day, like, no joke. I live here in Florida. I saw a bat come out with no sight of the moon. Like, I was looking for the moon. Where are you, moon?
Resistant to tears and scratches than feathered wings, meaning even a single hit from a relatively weak attack or mid-air collision might mean game over for a bat player.
Man, I think one time I saw a bat, like, boom, a bat. Bruh, because he kept playing around my head. Like, you know when they just fly around your head like that right there? You got to hit them with, like, the no-look, like a no-look pass. So, like, what you do, it's kind of like if somebody's sitting right beside you and you want to act like, so let's say a bunch of people around them, like, let's say it's gym class, whatever, and let's say, a bunch of people around them, right? And you want to hit somebody, you'll just do like this. You know, hit them over your shoulder and just act like, because you ain't turn and look, so, you know. That's what you do at the bat. He wanted to play like that right there. You can't just hit him directly. You can't just, hit him directly. You gotta, let him act like I ain't even looking. You know what I mean? And then hit him, and then he'll fall. Like that right there.
The bat's other stats also tend to be quite low. They aren't exactly stealthy flyers, and make much more noise than other nocturnal aerial builds.
And see, bro, they be sitting up there just like that right there. Waiting on it to get dark outside. Well, hold up. Didn't I just say it?
Like the owl. They also have pretty abysmal damage output. This makes sense though, as they don't really need it for offense, and if they're ever attacked...
Just imagine, you think you just flying all good in the hood. Flying. Beep bop, beep bop. A bat just come and get you. Now, I'd be so mad at life, bro. I get so mad, bro.
Their defense and HP are so low that it would already be too late to strike back. So it's actually optimal to just stick to their hypermobile strategy and hope their other special abilities can carry them.
What was that? What was that?
Stick to their hypermobile strategy.
Oh, like an alligator.
And hope their other special abilities can carry them. Before we get into this...
Oh, he died.
Their hypermobile strategy and hope their other special abilities can carry them.
Oh, no, he missed.
Before we get into discussing special abilities, first we have to break down the different variations within the bat class, since the most important special abilities are not shared among all bats. All of these variations fall into one of two categories: microbats and megabats. Microbats are smaller and have a highly specialized nocturnal playstyle. They heavily favored spending evolution points on their hearing sense rather than vision, and so their eyes are quite small and not very useful. However, in addition to having excellent hearing, the Microbat's heavy investment into the auditory skill tree grants them access to an extremely powerful unique ability, echolocation. Echolocation is a sound-based perception perk that allows the user to completely negate any stealth bonuses a player would normally have because of camouflage. It also allows bats to track the location of other flying players in the air, giving them greatly increased accuracy against airborne targets. It also greatly lowers the risk of collision while flying in tightly packed groups or through dense forests.
Now see, when I saw the bats, I ain't see them flying like that, bro. That's not how I saw them. I saw these motherfuckers. I saw them they'll just fly so quick and just be here. Like, you can see them. And half a second, you won't see them. Like, they'll fly like they jerking somebody. Like,
this ability is definitely the most impressive aspect of the bat build, and the most integral to making their nocturnal playstyle viable. While most Microbats survive entirely via the XP they get from PvP against flying insects, the Microbat faction also contains the Vampire.
But why he added the sound
in,
bro?
Parasitic build that uses its flight ability to stealthily drain small amounts of HP from other players. While I like the concept in theory, I feel like the Bloodsucker playstyle is done much more effectively by builds like the Mosquito and Tick, both of which have high enough stealth to actually succeed in their attacks even when the target is wide awake. Vampire bats, on the other hand, are...
Just imagine how aggravated a snake would get if a mosquito just sitting on his back and he can't hit it. But you know how mad I'd be? Man, I'd be rolling. I'd be looking retarded in the forest to get that motherfucker off. Cause think about it, bro. I don't think snakes are smart enough to where they take their tail and smack it on the back of their head. So like, take your tail, my tail back here, and you know, I don't think they smart enough to do that. But if it was up to me, man, and a mosquito just sitting in the back of my head where I can't bite them or nothing, I'd be so mad, boy. I'd be so mad.
To succeed in their attacks even when the target is wide awake. Vampire bats, on the other hand, are not stealthy enough to drain a full blood meal from a conscious target. And
look how uncomfortable that pig was. I'd be so mad if I was him too.
And given their extremely low defense, they cannot risk taking a hit while draining HP. It's likely that the Vampire bats had far more success back before the truly giant mammal builds got banned, as these mammals would have had much more difficulty detecting and swatting away such a small flying parasite. Aside from also having the ability to fly, the Megabat faction has a very different strategy than Microbats. The Megabat player base is diurnal, and as such, they did not spec far into the auditory skill tree at the cost of their vision. Quite the opposite, in fact. Megabats have excellent vision, but they cannot use the echolocation ability. In theory, this is a better strategy, rather than spending a bunch of evolution points on the expensive high-level sonar ability. It's more efficient to just go for a more standard vision upgrade, and still have plenty of points left over to pump into things like direct base stat boosts. This is what allows Megabats to grow several times larger than their nocturnal cousins. Now, due to their lack of echolocation, there's pretty much no way they could attack flying insects midair with any sort of accuracy. So Megabats opt for an herbivorous playstyle, and use their power of flight to access the best loot, similar to parrots. Despite being a much easier playstyle, I actually think it's nearly as viable as the Microbat strategy, provided there's enough fruit around to sustain the energy needs required by a flying mammal. So how do bats fare against their most common encounters? As I said before, Microbats have excellent matchups against flying insects. That's pretty much a given since they're specifically specialized for that matchup. Moths in particular have actually started speccing into their own sonar abilities in order to jam bat echolocation so that they aren't such a free kill all the time. This still has a long way to go before it has much of an effect on the matchup though. Microbats are also occasionally able to score kills on amphibian players, though personally I see this as more of an indictment of the frog's abysmal defensive stats than it is praise of the bat's offensive ability. Surprisingly, the biggest threats to bats are stationary ambush builds, since echolocation doesn't do a great job picking out other players who aren't moving.
Snakes are terrifying. They're terrifying.
Snakes in particular can detect them using their heat vision, and can lash out and score a kill while they're passing by. Spiderwebs can pose a major problem to careless bat players too, as most bats are actually light enough to be restrained mid-flight if they run into them. However, skilled bat players can actually pinpoint.
I'd be mad if I got caught in a net like that right there. I'd be mad, bro. I'm over here flying, having a good time, and I fly right into that. But y'all guys ain't never go hunting, bro, and y'all saw a banana spider. Bit spiders, bro. I'm not lying to you guys. Like, how big them things be? Like, let's be real here. They probably be about the size of my hand, like that right there. I might be over exaggerating, but big. What's it called? What's it? A net? Nope. Dang, nabbit. It's called a web. Why y'all ain't help me out? But that's what they have, bro. They got them webs. And then they just be sitting right in the middle. Boop. You know what I mean? And then you walk right into them. Like, I walk right into them. Not with the spider on. They abandoned the web. But them some big spiders, though.
The spider player via echolocation and snatch them right out of their web. So this matchup is by no means one-sided. Echolocation also allows bats to detect players that have made the mistake of being at the surface of the water, even in the dark.
He pulled them up out
Making
of
an
the water.
attack on one of these targets is a bit of a gamble too, though. Megabats, in contrast, have great difficulty
Lost.
dealing with birds of prey. Since they have no sonar for early detection of an incoming attack, they can be taken down both mid-flight and while hiding in trees by aggressive raptor players. However, with their large frame, they're also far better in the intimidation department, meaning they can frighten players away who might challenge their control over the best loot sources. Their slightly higher defensive stats, while still not great, can also let them tank a hit or two if they get lucky. Wouldn't exactly rely on this, but still, credit where credit is due. The last thing to mention is the bats' matchup against disease. So bats actually have one of the highest disease resistances in the game. Something they really do need because they live in such close quarters with each other. Because of this, the pathogen mains who do target bats have to spec into some extremely powerful virulence perks.
Look at that right there. Coronavirus. Look at all that. All that stuff right there. All that right there. Y'all, look at that. Y'all keep eating them things. This is what they carry. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. That's all. That's what they carry.
Who do target bats have to
Stop
spec into
eating
some
them.
extremely powerful virulence perks.
Stop.
Which is why the pathogens that switch targets from
Overseas,
bats to something
guys,
else
stop eating
tend to
them.
be quite difficult for non-bat mains to fend off.
Look at that. Look,
They're in something else.
Look at
tend
this
to
right
be
here.
Quite
Look where it started. Look at this. Guys, I'm telling you. Look at this right now. Look at the screen. We way over here on the left side. We way over here. If you guys don't know what America look like, it's right here. Look where it started. Way over here in Russia. Or, hold up. Wherever that is, that's overseas, nigga. Shit. But, see where it started and it just come over there? Because y'all just keep eating the wrong stuff, bro. Y'all eat stuff that ain't supposed to be ate.
difficult for non-bat mains to fend off. Their incredible immune systems seem to have the secondary effect of granting bats unnaturally long lives. Most builds with similar metabolisms and sizes to bats only live a fraction as long. Overall, I think the bat sits at a comfortable C tier. Their choice of abilities is expensive, and I'm not entirely sure that it has paid off when weighted against the sacrifices they had to make to their base stats. Of the 3 flying factions in the game, I actually think bats rank the lowest overall. Birds have them beat in terms of versatility and practicality, as they can fly longer distances.
See, bro,
Birds have them beat
I'd love to be a bird like that, bro, because you don't even need an airplane. You got wings, bro. You know what I mean?
in terms of versatility and practicality, as they can fly longer distances and have more durable wings. Insects have bats beat in terms of defense, being able to fly while still rocking some pretty solid armor. Nonetheless, the bat's flight precision is quite respectable.
See, it's crazy. They got all that armor on the ladybug, and I could look at a ladybug right now. If you land on my desk, guess what? Bop, you dead.
And highly skilled bat players can accomplish quite a lot using the bat's limited tools. I expect the bat's position on the tier list to rise as the current meta continues to centralize around the city biome, something microbats excel at. The bat's incredible disease resistance is also not to be overlooked. In fact, human data miners are trying to crack the code to see if the bat's immunity is something that can be used as a model for advancing the human's medicine ability. This is the subject of the excellent documentary series Breakthrough, which chronicles the research that was done this year regarding the huge nerfs the human player base had to deal with in 2020. You can
Talking
watch
about
the
some
whole
don't
series
blame
right
Bet.
now by signing up for Curiosity nonfiction title. They're talking with dinosaurs.
He just trying to advertise. But guys, our Bats OP, he still ain't answered that question. He was just talking the whole time. Anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy the reaction, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. On the way to 1,700 subscribers. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's me, Boy Quality Cameron. I'm out this thing. Peace out. Love you guys.